We switched to a phone. So, I don't know what's happening, but there's probably data on the phone that's not on other things. Oh, weird. But I don't think that's not what's live. This is what's live. So this is what. Yes, you're also much louder. Are we too loud? I don't know how to. I don't have all my regular stuff, so it's all weird. Sorry, everyone. Okay, here. We're all zoomed in on my face. We don't need that. We're gonna adjust here.
Yeah.
I want this one.
Yeah, see, I'm not as fuzzy anymore. I'm actually not all pixely.
It's Freya. Hi, Freya.
Hi,
Volume back at normal.
OMG, how are you, Cappy? I am doing okay. Freya Malik.
Freya. Yay. See? That's what we got. Okay. Maybe eventually I'll figure out a virtual camera to use our phone and the overlay and do all things, but that day is not today. Today is pre-op surgery day. Bonk. Try this.
Okay. Should we aim it down a little bit?
Down?
Yeah, aim it down so that we're kind of framed in better.
What? In my hand, I'll burn a tang. What? Welcome to streaming from cell phone.
Hello, everybody.
You can see the chat here too if you want. Instead of on the little stream. Thanks for the loves. Loves. Okay, here's your questions.
Okay, so when we were rudely interrupted by network problems,
Hi, Ian.
The question was, what did you do today? What's the pre-op appointment have? So the pre-op appointment is one where I went to the doctor's office at noon, and then by 1:15 I was called in from the lobby and directed to a room to sit down. And basically it's one of those appointments where I don't take like my clothes off, and we just sit around and discuss things. The surgeon's assistant comes in and has some things to discuss, like complications and things, and what to expect and what's going to happen in the next few days, and like answers all the questions that I may have had, and basically gets me to sign a couple things saying like I agree to like all of these complications that may occur. I agree that I'm taking the chance. And also there was a form there where I'm like, you're gonna become sterile like permanently. Do you authorize us to sterilize you? And the answer is yes, because I already have 2 children.
They're wonderful. We love them.
That's right. No more kids for me. I already have 2 of the best kids ever. So
we have enough kittens. We don't need more kittens.
That's right.
Except for actual kittens. I'd be okay with an actual kitten. Named Cleopatra. I already have a plan. That's off topic.
Cleopatra. That's right. That's our next cat.
Someday I'll introduce you once I get one. It'll be great.
So, should I go into details, like what was discussed in the pre-op?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of part of the deal is like helping future trans people hear about this stuff. So one more, since this is possibly a new video, content warning for like actually what happens in the surgery and possible side effects or whatever.
Yeah. Well, like one of the things that they told me was, one of the questions that I had is like, how long am I staying in the hospital for? And normally without COVID in the world, you would be in the hospital for like 3 days. It's not the case anymore. The doctor wants me basically out of the hospital the same day I got the surgery. So, it's kind of a it's kind of a see how you do with pain, and we'll keep you overnight if the pain's too much, sort of deal. But if the pain is manageable, like I'll be discharged the same day I get the surgery, which is kind of mind blowing actually. The surgery itself takes about 3 hours, he says, and I would be in recovery for 4. He keeps me in recovery for 4 to see how I'm doing. And if I'm doing okay, then I get discharged from the hospital and I get dilators. They issue me dilators that I don't use immediately, because basically what happens is whenever they do the surgery, they put a packing material in where the vagina is. And then they do a catheter where the urethra is, and they've got all this, it's sort of sealed off with like a medical kind of saran wrap, I suppose it's called. It's like medical saran wrap. And it's all sealed off.
Is it the same as what you get after you get a tattoo? Like keeps your stuff that seeps out of your wounds in?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, and there's drains. They put these drains in there to prevent hematomas from occurring.
So you don't get discoloration as much.
Yeah, so it's like all the liquids that are in your body get drained out of these drains. Not all of the liquid, but all of the liquid that's kind of floating around in that surgical area. They put these drains in, and apparently they...
All of the matter out of place? Moop?
I suppose so. So like in this rearranging of parts that they do, they put drains in. I think it's part of the orchiectomy. Like they'll remove the testicles and kind of do a penile. The procedure that I'm gonna undergo is called a penile inversion. There's a couple different flavors of GCS, but this is the one I'm doing. It's the most standard one. It's like what most people get, I would say. So they do all of that and kind of seal me off, and I'll be discharged from the hospital carrying like a catheter bag and like drains and stuff inside of me. And I'm not, and basically I'm like that for 6 days. I've got to maintain this surgical stuff for 6 days. And surprisingly, I thought I would be doing a lot of bed rest, and that's actually something that they had told me, that you're not going to be doing much bed rest. Actually, you're expected to, every hour go and move around, like stand up and walk around, and get things kind of moving around, which surprised me actually. There is a pain med schedule, like I'm supposed to overlap Tylenol and ibuprofen sort of every 3 hours, so that you've always got some sort of anti-inflammatory in your system, and I think a nerve block agent, something like that. So there's like a pain med schedule, which is sort of what Jack and my helper person is going to manage for me.
Yeah. So basically you take ibuprofen every 6 hours. You take Tylenol every 6 hours, but you stagger it, so it's every 3 hours you're taking something. And then whichever one of those works less good for you, in this case likely Tylenol, you also take gabapentin. So this is ibuprofen and this is Tylenol. Then it's Tylenol and gabapentin every 6 hours. And then as needed, there's a small quantity of oxycodone.
Oxycodone, yes.
That you take when the pain breaks through this thing.
Right.
Which I know when I had my breast reduction surgery, I needed that 4 times, and it usually was at night, especially if I wasn't waking up to take my meds. So,
part of the reason that I have helpers is that they're gonna wake me up in the middle of the night and feed me pills. to keep my pain meds cycling correctly. So it's going to be fun for sleeping. Lots of fun. And on top of that, like, so for 6 days, like, I'll have all this packing material. And after 6 days, I go back in for my first follow-up, where the doctor will take the catheter out, take all of that dressings off, take the packing material out, and then he'll show me how to dilate. And I'm like in the office. What he told me is like, I'm gonna be in that same office with the doctor, and he's gonna show me how to dilate, and I'll dilate too, and I show him like how the technique is, and like so he can do it right, demonstrate it, and then I'm expected to do that 3 times a day for at least 3 months.
Boops. First of all, Ian Richards says, hope you'll be careful, and huggles to both of us. And then Bips says, that sounds exhausting, having to wake up like that to take your meds.
Yeah. It's exhausting. I'm sure. Yeah, it's going to be kind of one of those things to endure.
But if you don't, it's so much worse.
Yeah, I would rather be woken up.
Honestly.
Yeah, because I actually go back to sleep pretty fast. Like, if someone wakes me up.
Well, and my plan is your helper's going to be on a regular sleep schedule, and I'm going to capitalize on my I don't sleep at night because I'm a weirdo sleep schedule, and I'll be the one doing the, like, midnight to 6 a.m. stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure you get your stuff in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And then the helper will do the daytime stuff.
Yep.
So we sort of have the benefit of I'm a weird, anxious little night owl right now, so I'm awake in the middle of the night anyways. I can make sure you take your drugs so you don't hurt, because I love you.
Yeah.
And you're cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're cute. Ian says we're here for y'all. Oh, Ian.
Thanks,
Big
Ian.
hugs. Big hugs to you. Please
Yeah.
be careful. We night owls only exist for a reason. We night owls exist for a reason. Sorry, I'm reading the screen from much further away than usual.
We'll be careful. We've got a nurse on staff, so.
It's true.
Yep. So, let's see. What's that?
You go ahead. Sorry.
Like, they explained all of this, and like they told me what to expect in the hospital. Like, I'll go in on before I go into the hospital, I've got to take I've got to take an enema.
Yikes.
Twice.
Bonus
One at
yikes.
night and one in the morning.
Yep.
After the enema, I have to take a shower and use a half bottle of this antibacterial soap
I've done that before.
and wash my entire body, I guess, from the neck down.
It smells very weird. Yeah.
And
You basically have to sterilize your skin for surgery.
yeah, so I do that
Twice.
morning
and night.
So after every
Helps
enema,
away.
I have this shower.
Mm-hmm.
I also have to wake up. The morning of the surgery, I have to wake up at 3:30 a.m. and drink an Ensure. And then 2 hours later, drink a Gatorade. And I guess this is so that you've got enough protein and liquids and electrolytes in your system before surgery happens. So you can just like kind of say have food, I suppose, in your system. So I've got to follow those rules and go in 11:30 on Friday for the check-in, and surgery's at 1:30, and I should be done with surgery by 5:30.
But then you have to wait around until like 10 o'clock at night to
Yeah.
be discharged at the earliest. So normally in non-COVID times they'd keep you overnight.
Yeah.
And they'd use a different painkiller for surgery.
Yeah.
But because of COVID, they've had to change the way they do things because the hospitals don't have a ton of room, and you don't want a fresh post-op person to catch COVID.
Right.
So it's like this cost-benefit analysis of how much time do you keep people around. So this is another thing I wanted to document because not every trans surgery documentation video is also dealing with COVID and pandemic, and it feels like it's, I don't know, like a milestone. That's the wrong word. It's notable somehow. Worth noting.
It's like one of those things to deal with if you're having surgery during like a pandemic, which this is gonna hang around a little while, probably well into 2021. There's trans people that are gonna have to deal with this in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is what to expect. It's probably because you're probably gonna get discharged from the hospital very fast.
Yeah.
And you're expected to kind of go home with catheters and drains and all that stuff in your
You have a catheter for a week?
I'll have a catheter for 6 days. Yep.
Same with drains.
I've never had a catheter before. I've never had surgery before, so it's gonna be interesting, especially when we do like these little video chats and I'm like all cathetered up. You're not gonna be seeing, that'll be off camera, but
everyone will be clothed.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have my clothes
on. There'll be no naked streaming.
No.
Violate Twitch's TOS. Nope. That's not happening.
It's gonna be family friendly broadcasting.
Yep.
Let's see.
Oh. Just rocked our whole world by standing up. Oh no, the thing we taped down. Okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
Are you in pain? Says Ian.
Right now? No.
No. Surgery is on Friday. This is just our pre-operation appointment, so we're getting ready now. But I'm also guessing that you're not going to be able to sit up like this for this long. I'm going to guess that you may be kind of lounging in a lounging position.
I really don't know what I'll be in. What kind of position? I don't know what'll be comfortable. I do have one of those ring pillows. It's a really nice like memory foam pillow with like
forgot to ask about that.
cut out in the middle. What do you mean?
Remember when Helper was talking about how she was surprised that someone suggested the ring pillows because if you use it then you don't have your pelvic floor isn't supported by what you're sitting on, and that's a whole thing.
I mean, they put it just in the packet of stuff like.
It was a question we meant to ask and didn't.
I don't know.
I'm gonna make a new questions category while we're talking about it. Okay, please continue talking about other things.
Sure. But apparently, like, when I'm awake, I'm not going to be laying around in bed. Like, they don't want that to happen because you get pooling in the legs and, blood pooling everywhere. So apparently, I'll be walking around a lot and just...
Like a little stroll around the rental.
Basically, I'm just going to stroll around this place here. I'm not going to be going outside. It's sort of bad weather.
Do you want to fetch your supplies and do a little show and tell time? The different supplies you need?
Okay.
It's interesting for folks to see, I think.
Sure. I'll show you some of them.
I'll vamp while you fetch. Vamping. Yep-ba-da-ba-da, hey! So, fun thing that happens, on Mondays this month, my friends are streaming one-shots on my channel. And if you want to play in one of those games, and you feel like you would feel confident speaking in front of a Twitch audience, and you want to hang out, you can inquire in the Discord. There's a looking for group section, and the DMs, ultimately, whoever's running the game is who gets to play in the game. So they're all managing that, it's not me, but if anyone's interested, that's an option for the month of January 2021. Now back to your regularly scheduled trans update.
Thank you. Okay, so like the enemas I was talking to you about, we all love to talk about enemas on this channel.
That was sarcasm.
Sarcasm. So I got what's called a fleet. It's kind of backwards text, but yes, it's fleet saline enema. So I got 2 of them. So I used one on tomorrow night. I used the first one.
Thursday night, because surgery is Friday afternoon.
Yes.
Okay.
Thursday night. I use the first one Thursday night, and then I take a shower with the antibacterial soap, which I actually don't have right with me, but I'll get it tomorrow. And then the second one would be the morning of the surgery, like kind of early, probably right after I drink a 32-ounce Gatorade, or shortly afterwards. You doing?
Ian says, what fleet? Ah, yes, the infinite fleets. First learned about those when people started making jokes about Twitter's new fleet feature. Yeah, fleet, saline enema. That's what a fleet is. There you know.
Yeah. Yeah, so the second one was in, the morning after surgery. I've never done one of those before, so that'll be an experience. I was told to get stool softener, so I got some Docusate sodium stool softener. So I guess we all know how that goes. I was told by another trans friend of mine that whenever it comes time to shower, which actually comes after after they take all the packing out and take all the drains out, and they tell me to dilate 3 times a day, then they send me home. They actually ask me to shower every day, and whenever it comes to the washing the area that got surgeried, like just let the water run over it. Probably later on, I would be using these baby washcloths to not really scrub or anything, because you don't want to do that, but more just like whenever you're drying yourself off, you use one of these baby washcloths and you just kind of pat dry the area with these really soft washcloths. So that's what I got these for, is to sort of pat the area dry. I was told that flushable wipes, like after you go to the bathroom, would be a good thing to have. So I got these Can Do flushable wipes, which I guess are for kids, like babies. So I'm using kind of baby wipes on myself, and these are flushable. These are the flushable kind, so apparently they must break down somehow. And it's supposed to be like really gentle because they're for babies. And another thing I was told to get was like big maxi pads. And the Always brand is the kind that doesn't stick to your skin or to surgical wounds, apparently. That's what I was told, is that Always brand maxi pads, TM, do not stick to wounds. So that's what I got.
Do you also have a special thing for the bed?
Yeah.
And giant ice packs?
I do have giant ice packs.
How do those even work? They're so big.
Well, you can fold them.
I know, it's like 3 panels, like bigger than my torso.
Well, yeah.
It's a lot of ice pack.
Sure.
For like
you
a little spot.
You can fold it into 3. You can ice your area for 10 minutes covered with like paper towel or a towel or something. You don't put it directly on your skin, but covered for 10 minutes on and 10 minutes off.
Can we set timers on your watch for that?
Yeah, there's timers on.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna have so many timers going this next week or 2. It's like so many.
Lots of timers.
Lots of timers.
Okay, just a second.
Just a sec while Capybara fetches mystery things. I wish I had my friend from my bedroom with me to show you all. I got a friend as a holiday present. My friend's name is Jojo. It's a tiger, but inside it has like a bag that you can microwave. It's got like lavender and buckwheat or flax or something in it, or both. And that keeps my back nice and happy. Thanks, friend, that gave me that. That's so thoughtful. It's adorable.
I was told to get underwear that's 2 sizes bigger, so I did. So there's some underwear.
Yay.
This GCS is bigger.
Yay.
It's a whole bunch of those.
Surgery requirement.
Yeah.
Things will fit.
These are
Thanks
just
for the follow,
these are just
Tommy.
These are just washcloths.
You caught us at a funny stream. Welcome in.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
We're talking about very trans surgery stuff, so if you're squeamish, this is the wrong stream to start in the community. But welcome, though.
A refresh on the trigger warning
I'm
is
Meowster.
that we're talking about.
This is Capybara. We're talking about Capybara's surgery that's on Friday.
Yes, if you don't
our
like
community
surgery,
likes to know what's happening. But usually I do tabletop role-playing games and video games. So, now you know. Don't worry, I'm bisexual. Okay.
Okay,
you won't care. Okay. Well, welcome in. Thanks for being here. What is this thing?
So this is like it's just washcloths.
Okay.
Just plain white washcloths. That's easy to peroxide or bleach or whatever to get them back to sterilized. And they are handy to have whenever I have to go dilate and have to do cleanup sort of things, and
yep.
just handy to have around whenever you've got lots of cleanup to do.
Yep.
So, yep.
We're talking about bottom surgery for trans women. That's what's happening.
Yes, for those that have just tuned in, I have bottom surgery in a day or two.
A day and a half.
Day and a half. And so these are all the supplies that I've acquired
We're doing a diary
to help
on
me through
stream. Each day if we can, but no promises though, because surgery recovery is more important than a stream schedule. But turn on the notifications if you want to hear the hot updates.
So these items here are, see those? They unfold to a kind of a 3x3 square.
3x3 square?
Yeah, and you lay that on top of your bed sheets. So
it's like a tarp for your bed?
It's kind of a tarp, yeah.
It's like a bed diaper?
It's kind of like a bed maxi pad.
Posture check and water. We're on a couch, so it's hard to do posture check. But yes, I'll drink water. Thank you.
And you put that on your bed, and you can sleep on top of it. So if like any drains drip something out of them, or something like gets discharged or something like that the bed sheets don't get ruined. And I wish I had known about these when my kids were growing up, because I would have used the heck out of these things.
Well, they make the things for your whole bed for the kids if they pee their bed.
Oh sure, yeah, but that's more of a bed condom than it is a bed maxi pad. I mean, you still have to deal with the mess. I have one more pretty important item to show. Just a sec.
Is it my tiger? Can you grab my tiger since I hyped it up? It's on my bed. Showing stuff. Okay, also for new people, usually the setup is much fancier. We're like in a rental in a strange town, so it's just like phone. But like I have like a HD camera and microphone on a boom and a headset and like the whole lighting setup and a green screen. Usually it's just like you get your away reporting today. Here we are.
Hi.
Doing
two more things. So with dilation, you're supposed to use a lubricant to do that.
Oh yeah.
And when people think of like what lube would I use, it's not coconut oil. It has to be a water-based lubricant. And I would say it's not the kind of thing that you would find in any kind of grocery store, I would say. So I got this, which is called Surgilube. And it's bacteriostatic water-based lubricant. And it is the kind that you would use to do sort of like really important...
if you want that for your back.
Thanks. So for doing dilation, use Surgilube.
Does our new thingies fit it, do you think? Do you want pink or yellow? Or...
I want pink. Totally want pink.
Here you go. It's pink.
Okay. Cool.
We got thingies in the mail today.
We got thingies. And do I do it this way or the other way? I don't
I
remember.
think the other way. I don't know. What do I know?
So anyway, these clips for these lubricant bottles, right? You want to kind of
Oh my gosh, Sierra, thank you so much.
get all of the lubricant out.
Sierra subscribed to Tier 1.
Oh wow! Hi Sierra.
Thanks,
Thank
Sierra.
you.
Welcome in.
And so I guess these clips you can just like push them, and then it kind of gets it all out of the bottle. So you get every last drop. So that's the lube I use, and we'll see how it works. I mean, you're not gonna actually see it. I will describe to you how effective this is, because that's not what this stream's about. I am not about to show people things like that. Okay, so this is the last piece that I have to show, and it is it's a ring that I sit down on, and hopefully takes it'll help me sit on chairs and things while I'm healing up, and we'll see how that works. I do a lot of sitting for work, so it has me concerned, like how long do I have to sit still? How long can I sit still to look at like a Zoom call or focus on writing software?
When do you go back to work?
It's going to be like March 1st is my plan.
Recovery time.
Yeah.
Important.
Just so that I have my head in the game. It's hard to write software when you're in pain.
I'm going to rope you into so many silly tabletop role-playing games. It's going to be great.
All right.
If you let me rope you in.
We'll see.
Ian says good luck. And a moment ago, Nerd on Wheels said those clips are awesome. And that, I forget Nerd's pronouns. I'm going to go with they because I don't remember. So they love those clip things.
Yeah.
And Sierra is going to do lurk. Have a good concentrate and lurk. That's all. That's a chat update.
Okay. So, I guess like tomorrow's plan is that I have to go in for some lab work at 2:30, and get my antibacterial soap, and then on Thursday night I take my first enema in the shower and go from there.
Wait, you're doing it in the shower? You don't do it over a toilet and then have a shower?
No, I do the enema in the toilet, and then after I'm done with that...
I'm asking all the nosy questions.
After I'm done with that, then I go take a shower with the bacteriostatic stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I don't think you do the hair wash, right? Like you don't do other soaps after that.
No.
That's all the soaps.
Nope.
No soaps. Because the point of the fancy washy stuff is to get all the soap off your body.
Right.
Yeah,
so
the body soil and whatever else.
Like that morning of surgery, I can't have any lotion on me, or deodorant, or jewelry, or anything. So I'll have to take out my fake diamond studs that I've got in my ears, that I always have. I've always just leave these in, but I'll have to take them out.
Aw.
And I'll have to have Dudge and Meowster put them back in for me, because they're really hard to do.
We'll get it done.
Yeah.
We'll make you pretty when you're done.
Yeah.
Just don't ask me to do makeup on your face. I'm awful at it.
I don't do makeup.
I know.
I think we covered that in a previous stream.
That sounds true.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a question. What's been happening with your HRT getting ready for surgery? I know that you're off your regular plan. So what have you been up to manage any of that? And how has that experience been for you? Asking the big questions here.
Yeah. I had to go, so some surgeons require you to go off of HRT before surgery. This one is one of them. So I had to quit taking my medication, which is spironolactone and estradiol tablets, 3 weeks before surgery happened. When you do that, the testosterone isn't being suppressed anymore. so basically it's now like influencing my mood and kind of interfering with the like estrogen patches I've got on me kind of help things, but to have that testosterone in my system again sort of rekindles some older thoughts about like how I used to feel before I took HRT, which is kind of it's been kind of hard to live in that world again, because it's sort of this world that it sort of drains me of, it sort of like disconnects me from my body. Actually, I get kind of body dissociation, where I don't feel kind of in myself. I feel kind of like running myself by remote control. It's sort of how I felt beforehand. So it's been challenging. I've been just trying to feel what I can feel and keep my good spirits and look to the future and know that it's going to be over soon. And by Friday 1:30 p.m., that's when it's going to be over, is because they'll remove the testicles, which produce the testosterone, and then the amount of free testosterone in my system will go to zero. Well, go to near nothing.
Significantly
reduced.
How has the testosterone surge you've been experiencing in the last month or so impacted your experience of pain, or how has it impacted you physically, mentally, emotionally?
It's impacted me physically by, like, I've noticed my muscle tone getting better, actually. Like one notable...
Strong like cow?
Yeah, one notable thing is on HRT, like a bag of groceries, if you held it at arm's length, it would kind of hurt in my shoulder right here. And just like kind of lifting it kind of at arm's length, lifting something at arm's length, I feel like a lot of pulling of tendons and things in my shoulder. Like, it's kind of like hard. Like, that's hard. I found that pain does not exist now. And I'm able to just do what I used to do in, a long time ago before HRT, and just take like heavy things and just lift things without effort, and it doesn't hurt my body anymore.
Strong.
So like muscle tone came back, some of the upper body strength muscle tone came back a little bit. Which I kind of like, to be honest, but the mental stuff is more detrimental than, I would rather have good mental state than having upper body strength. So, like emotionally, I feel a lot more flat. Like I don't feel as much range of emotion that I was used to feeling. It's a lot flatter. Like joy and sorrow are mostly just like meh. I don't really get sad and I don't really get happy. It's more just, I kind of play act. Like, I know I'm supposed to be happy right now, so I'll play act that I'm happy to make sure that everyone thinks that I'm happy.
Like, do a little clap and, like, put a fake grin on your face and open your eyes wider?
Like, awesome. Like
Play act, happy, excited?
Yeah. Like, this is a time where you're supposed to act happy and show everyone that you feel good. Yay, everybody. Dovetails into autism, masking right there.
Yay, autism. We're like, awesome.
Or like, you're supposed to feel angry right here. And so I'm just like, grumpy face. I do not like this. And just kind of go into this grumpy but not scary grumpy. Might feel scary grumpy inside, but like, just make it look like you're grumpy when you're in HRT, which is just like kind of, that sucks, and
On the
kind of
topic on the topic of grumpy, have you noticed
play out.
any like irritability or anger? Like, are you experiencing those emotions differently than when your testosterone is more suppressed?
It seems to come on a lot faster. Like my
frustration tolerance.
My
is
frustration tolerance is lower. I noticed today that I was almost melting down from the amount of stress I was under. Because there was a lot of things that I had to go do this morning, and it was all on timelines, and there was all these people trying to call me, and I tried calling them back and they wouldn't answer their phone, and
that was weird. Yeah.
And just like all these people wanting to get
like
on my
anesthesiology, called them like 3 times.
Like the hospital, like 2 different departments of the hospital was calling me to try to get my information, and like just the logistical coordination of having a surgery, plus on top of like living one's life.
That's why it's good JoJo is here. Hi,
like,
this is JoJo.
Had me almost just like grumpy, almost like I went sort of like, I lost my words a little bit. I went a little bit nonverbal, and had to like tell Dungeon Meowster, like, I'm a little nonverbal, I'm kind of stressed out. And
then I went and found a snack for us. And then it got better because we were both hangry.
Yeah, I was pretty hungry too. Yeah.
Oh my god. Hangry and angry put together.
Hungry and angry, yes.
Yeah. Well, a cookie was not enough breakfast. Thankfully, we now have groceries in the house.
Yes, we have actual food now.
So with the HRT switchy uppy schma, we did physical, emotional. What about mental? Has having more testosterone back in your system during the surgery prep time, how has that affected you in your brain?
I feel disconnected. I feel dissociated, like kind of a lightweight dissociation. Like I don't feel like very like in my body as I used to, which is it was a feeling that I felt before too. So, like I feel my coordination's a little off. I feel like I can't be as present. It takes me quite a lot to just be in the present moment and not like dissociated and floating around in my head, because that's where I go, is I just float around in my head. I mean, it's great that I have estrogen patches, but I do have to take them off. Thursday night, tomorrow night, I have to take those things off before I do my first,
I'm gonna be so glad when you can finally take all your HRT again. It's been so hard for you to not have it until struggle.
Yeah, and I don't get those patches back on until Saturday or whenever I'm discharged from the hospital. I'll put those patches back on and get my HRT, at least the estrogen back in my system.
So when everything's done all the way and you're back on your HRT, if I remember, you don't need the Spiro anymore?
I don't need the Spiro anymore.
Because there's no more testicles to counteract.
That's right. So
then you'll be on estrogen and that other one?
No, I'll just be on estrogen.
Only estrogen?
Yeah.
What's the third one I was thinking?
I was on progesterone for a while.
Okay.
But
that had other weird effects too.
It had a side effect of like, just, I didn't really have much of a libido on it. Right. It affects different people differently. And that's what it did to me. I think it was beneficial for a while, and I don't see the benefit of having it anymore. So I'm just going to go on straight estrogen.
Look how cute this little friend is.
My HRT will just be estrogen at that point, and we'll see how that goes.
And your doctor doesn't want you to go back to your regular amount of estrogen and wants you to essentially microdose estrogen because of bleeding stuff concerns? Like blood clotting issues? Or?
Yeah, they were worried about.
Why'd you have to switch to from pills to patches?
Yes, they were worried about blood clots. I can't go back on my oral HRT meds until 3 weeks after surgery.
That seems like so long. Can you do more patches than you've been doing?
No.
Probably not.
No, I'm just going to do the same ones.
Okay.
I have 3. Well, my dose is 3 patches that dispense 0.1 milligrams of estrogen into my body a day. So it's basically
It's not very much, but it's something.
0.3 milligrams a day, and I was on 6 milligrams a day.
Damn.
so yeah, it's microdosing estrogen right now.
It's like what is that? Like a 98% decrease or something? 97% decrease?
Yeah.
I can't math right now. That's a huge jump.
Mm-hmm.
You like move the decimal over and then cut it in half.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
So you touched on this, but is there anything else you want to say about your experiences of dissociation and embodiment or not? And that piece. I guess the question I had around that is like, how has your pain tolerance changed in the last month with this weird change up in meds?
It seems like I can tolerate more pain now.
Mm-hmm.
I think I attribute it to the body dissociation. Like I'm just physically, my brain is not connected to the pain receptors in my body right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's like kind of been dulled. So if I really injure like a part of my body, I'll be, as if I were before HRT, I'd be like, I guess I hit my leg on something really, I've got a huge bruise on my leg, and whatever, keep on going, and didn't really think much of it, which wasn't the case whenever I was on HRT. If I did tiny little injuries to myself, it'd be like, the pain tolerance went way lower because I was a lot more connected to myself. And that's what happens when your brain's running on the wrong chemicals. Like, it's not supposed to be running on testosterone right now. And it's getting some, and it's not liking it. So it's like a chemical imbalance I'm going through right now.
I have 2 more questions written down, but I don't know if there's more questions after that. So the first question is, what new information did you get today, if anything? I don't know if any of it was new information, but was there anything that surprised you about the pre-op appointment today?
What surprised me was how much they wanted me to move around, actually. They were like, oh yeah, you're going to be up and around and walking every hour. And I was thinking I would be like in bed, laying down and sleeping like a lot.
I still think you might sleep a lot though.
Well, I mean,
but maybe every hour that you're awake, you go for a walk. But I don't think waking you up in the middle of your sleep cycle is a healthy choice either.
I think what they're expecting is that I sleep at night, and during the day, I have to be up every hour walking around. Like I can nap, and then like alarm goes off. Oh, I have to pop up, walk around a little bit, maybe take another nap, pop up the next hour. It's one of those timers thing. Yeah. I think that really is what they expect to have happen. That was surprising to me. The other thing that was surprising to me was how little the amount of time I would be in hospital for this.
Right.
Because of COVID, probably. The rest of it was things that I've learned over the years that weren't surprising to me, like the amount of times I'll have to dilate a day. That's not a surprise. It's going to be a lot, and it's very important. Like, I can't miss any of them. So it's 3 times a day. You prioritize that at the top. Like, you do that before you do anything else. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't, you're going to lose, your vaginal cavity that they created for you will seal itself shut, and then you'll have to get another surgery to make another one.
One thing that I really liked about this specific surgeon, and any viewers who are like, hey, but what surgeon was that? Like, if you want a referral to the specific person, sorry, mashed up the phone. Send me a direct message or something. Get a hold of me privately, and I can maybe tell you. But we're not just gonna splatter it all over the internet for just whoever.
Yeah, I mean the information. I'm free to give more deeper information about surgeons and all of that stuff, but you'll have to DM either Dungeon Meowster or myself, and it's you'll have to DM me in the next day and a half if you want an answer. Otherwise, I'm probably not going to be cognizant enough to answer you.
Is my bot not running? I don't think it is. One of the things that I liked about our specific surgeon, though, now that that's what I disconnected. Now I remember. We'll have to do that later. Now that I have met them and heard the things, I was sort of jokingly calling it like the awesome vagina guarantee. Like, after surgery, if stuff doesn't quite heal right or whatever, if it's imperfect somehow, you can go back to the same surgeon's office and get it redone, and and they'll fix it for free. Like if you, for whatever reason you can't bill your insurance for it because they deem it's aesthetic only, the surgeon will still fix it for free because they're an esthetician. Like, they care about the aesthetics. Maybe esthetician's the wrong word actually, but they're plastic surgeons, so they care about the aesthetics of the situation and take pride in their work. So they will make it look good, which is great. Which, like, for me, I had breast reduction surgery a couple years ago, and I mean, it was a plastic surgeon, but it healed all kinds of funky, gross ways. And so I actually am thinking about, like, doing a consult, like, can we fix this? It's a mess.
Yeah.
So
they did tell me
it's cool. It's cool that they sort of guarantee their work in that way. I've never heard of a surgeon doing that ever.
Yeah. They did tell me that it would take about a year before all of the parts look like the equivalent of like a natal vagina would. So like all of the inner labia, outer labia, all of the parts kind of like falling into place. It takes that long for everything to kind of just heal up and be in that space, and so it sort of just falls together in that way. That's the intent, and sometimes things don't go according to plan, and then the surgeon will do a revision to sort of get back on track. So I have all the confidence in the world that I'm in good hands.
Yay.
Yep.
Anything else before my fun outro sort of joke question?
Oh yeah, they also said like, whenever you go to urinate, it's gonna spray.
Oh, for like 6 months, right?
There's no it's not this lamellar flow where it's just like coming out in a solid stream. It's kind of a spray, and it does that for about 3 months, because it's inflammation, and as things heal down into place, that gets a lot better and streams a lot better. So,
you know what else was cool about today?
What was that?
I don't know if it was a nurse or a PA or whatever her thing was, but whoever the nurse person in a surgery hat and mask that came to take us back and talk to us before the doctor came to talk to us and give us sort of the rundown, was also trans woman.
Yep.
Trans woman nurse for the big trans surgery, and like sometimes assists the doctor in the surgeries, and also like has had surgery from the doctor and then works there. So like that's cool.
Yep. Yeah.
It was so cool.
I think
I was so pleased.
I think that person's like one of the first people that got bottom surgery from him, actually.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And it was like 4 years ago. So
cool.
I mean, people get through this surgery. I'll get through it too,
Yeah.
It's just a matter of following doctor's orders and healing and just getting through it. But
surgeon also had a rainbow surgery hat on, which I loved.
Yeah.
And just sort of came across as like this happy-go-lucky hippie dude who just wants what's good for people, and like the front desk people are all business, like get all your insurance, make sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, but the surgeon and the nurse are like, we're more interested in helping people than like all that. So
yeah,
we'll schedule you for your appointments and do the things, and take the time. And, like, the surgeon will come in on the weekends if something's gone awry. Like, you know, a stitch comes undone, you're like, oh no! Like, I was like, wow, the surgeon must not go on very many vacations. Like, if you're just basically on call 24/7 for surgery stuff, like, you don't get out much probably. So, anyways, I have a lot of confidence in this, in the surgeon. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I have a good feeling about it too. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, one of the fast food workers on the way here had a super gay mask. Just total side note, and I was like, "Aw, there's gays everywhere, even in this little conservative rural town that we're in. That's rad."
That was good to see.
I almost cried. I'm so emotional this week. I don't know what's happening. I'm just crying all the time. I'm doing all your crying for you. Maybe you just tanked all the crying to me.
Yeah.
I was just doing double cry duty.
I usually cry more than this. But
actually, I think is a psychological thing. Like, partners can tank emotionally on each other. That's a thing.
Tank emotionally?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to go find a book that I read that in or read that from. But that's a thing.
Yeah, so the hormone imbalance is not making me very emotional. So it's kind of just like, oh, crying, yeah, right.
Okay. So you've been fasting a lot, so you can meet your weight goals for the surgery.
Yeah.
And there's one meal that you've been just like, waiting for. What did you get to eat after your pre-op appointment today?
Some Thai food.
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
And I haven't had Thai food in months.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
What did you have?
I had pad see ew.
Pad see ew.
It's good stuff. It's like noodles and chicken and vegetables, and I got it 3-star. It wasn't like crazy hot. Because I would normally opt for like really hot food, but this time it's probably not a good idea to do it right before surgery. So I'll opt for not having such a hot dish and wait for later for all of that to happen.
Ian says that they can't see us, but they can hear us. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Look, this says 0 frames per second. That's how many frames we're teleporting out to the world from our device here. Well, apparently we're having technical issues, so probably we'll stop here because I'm also tired. Is there anything else you want to say, though?
Thanks for listening. If you can't see me, thanks for listening, and I'll give you another update maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if
all right.
we can.
Sure.
We'll try. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll listen. If it's kind of wacky like this, we may switch to pre-recording videos and uploading to YouTube so that you can get the whole thing. But for those who are not yet following me on YouTube or subscribed to me on YouTube, it's Dungeon_Meowster, so spelled just like my name on here. Don't forget the underscore, because otherwise you'll find someone else's channel. And maybe in the next 2 days or so, I will get my YouTube playlist for this all sorted out. The other thing you can do is join us on Discord, because I will be doing little text updates in the TransCapybara GCS updates, whatever channel that we just made. So if you care about this particular trans person specifically and want to hear how things are going, you can keep up with us over there too. And just in general, the Discord's really fun. If you look at the link tree that's on various things on my profile or what have you, you can find all the links for that stuff there around. My bots aren't working, so anyway. Big love to all of you, Clouder of Meowsters. Thanks for hanging out. I'm so tired. I'm gonna go to bed sooner than I almost ever do, probably. Big love to everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Sorry I'm not reading. It's too complicated.